Okay, I'm going to try my first playthrough of Commands and Colors Ancients, or at least my first playthrough on camera anyway. I have the second battle of BENEVENTUM set up. As you can see here, it's from the first game. Historically, this takes place 214 BC, Rome versus Carthage, Second Punic War. The Roman army got wiped out by Hannibal a couple times, and desperate to replace the losses from Cannae, or Cannae, this guy, Gracchus, had the bright idea of recruiting slaves for the army. So, these guys are slaves. This guy, unnamed. He's going against Hanno and Mago on the other side. And the Romans historically won this. He made a bit of a mistake, Gracchus did, in saying, "Freedom for every man that brings me the head of a Carthaginian," which meant that at the start of the battle, once the Carthaginians killed people, they started just cutting off their heads and taking them to turn in instead of continuing to fight the battle. So he amended his statement to say, "If victory, then freedom." So that's kind of the history of the thing. I won't go over the rules, but I'll kind of explain what I'm doing as I do it. And hopefully, I don't have a tripod or anything, but hopefully I'll move it around as little as possible to not give anyone motion sickness. But the Romans start, and they have 4 command cards. The Carthaginians also have 4, but what's special about this battle, one of the rules, is as soon as the Romans get 3 victory points, then they get an additional 2 cards. And I need to get out the victory point markers for the Carthaginians, which I forgot about. Just looking at this battle, it looks pretty heavily sided to the Romans. 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I don't see that the Carthaginians, they have 1 more heavy unit in the elephants. Oh, they don't. Wait, no, they don't have elephants in this. I thought they did. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, they do. Got to set those up too. Elephants are unpredictable, so they could sway the battle in either direction just as easily. So I don't know that that's necessarily benefit for them. They do have a slight advantage in range in that they have these archers. Positioning is about equal. Well, in fact, I would say it goes a bit to the Romans' advantage. He has more adjacency and contingencies here. So he could use like a leader command and command a lot of those. But this guy has no adjacency at the start. So, although it's pretty easy for him to link up, the Romans start a little more better formed, as you can see. A lot of medium and warrior infantry on the field, so that's where most of the battle is going to take place, I think. Not a lot of cavalry. There's a few light units over here for the Carthaginians, and we have some medium cavalry here. Let's go ahead and get started. I haven't looked at the Carthaginian cards yet. I'm just going to play this solo. Alright, so line command. If I was in a little bit of a better position, that would be much better, but we'll save that. Try to get some stuff into better position. This is a heavy contender for the first. This will save, this will save. So yeah, I think ordering medium troops is the best. So when you go to order something, we can order 4 of them because that's our command. That's how many cards we have in our hand. You say which 4 you're going to command, and then you move all of them, and then you attack with all of them. You have to do all your movements first, and you have to declare all your attacks before you start attacking. So the object is to kill a unit completely. So every time a unit takes a hit, it loses one of these blocks. When it loses its last block, you get a victory point, a bonus victory point for killing leaders. Alright, so we want to form our line. So we need to declare 4 medium units. So we're going to declare this one over here for 1. We're going to declare 2, 3. Then I think we'll declare 4. So these guys, so got my shiny little crop here. I need more practice with it. So there's 1. Here's 2. I'm just going to pick these guys up. These guys move 3. I don't want to get... trying to think of how close I want to be to those elephants. I want to be within striking distance, but I'd prefer to be out of striking distance of them. So I think I'm just going to move here, because that allows me to go 1, 2, 3 next turn, but they can only go 1, 2. So that should be fine. And then, who was the last one I was going to move? These guys. Alright, so that completes our line, except for this, but what can be done? No attacks this round. So we discard, we draw a new card. We have Class of Shields. That's a fantastic card. Once you're within melee combat, you get 2 extra dice. We'll be saving that one, and now it's the Carthaginians' turn. So what do they have? They have an order medium troops. That includes their elephant. They have 3 units to the left, and when we're talking about left, we really are talking about right from our orientation, because it's as if I was sitting over there. Ooh, they do have a line command, which again, if we could only link that up, would be much better. So I think we're going to play this 2 on the right, and we're going to move these guys here. And then, let's see, which one do we want? I think we want to try and connect up these lines. So 2 on the left. Well, can't move that guy, which is what we would like to do. So we're going to move up this guy. So they can move 1, 2 if they charge. So they redraw. Now it's back to the Romans. It just kind of goes back and forth like that. Alright, so line command can certainly get us there quicker. I don't think it's going to get us in like combat range for most of this stuff, because you can't... Well, they can engage. Each unit may only move 1 hex and then engage in range combat. Yeah, so we'll definitely do this. Now it says order a group of foot units. The group must be in adjacent linked hexes, which may span 2 or 3 sections. So I think then we can do this. They may only move 1. So we can go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm pretty sure that this is all legal. Now this guy wasn't touching, so he can't go. How do we want to do this? 1. Try to get in range for some of our attacks. Now, I can't move the horses because it says specifically foot units, but that puts us in range for a few missile attacks. I wonder if this would work. Put my dice tower here, see if I can have them roll right there without them knocking anything over. Probably not. So these guys moved 1 space. They have 1 die then, and they're going to use it on that commander's heavy infantry. They need to roll a red symbol. That worked pretty well. That's a miss, though. These guys have no ranged attack. These guys do, and are going to try and hit the barbarian warriors right in front of them. They need a... you're basically trying to match the symbols. So that's a miss. Okay, next Let's see here. I want to do here to here, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, so that is a hit. So that's that. If you're adjacent to two of your buddies, you can ignore a retreat symbol, and we'll get into that once one of them actually happens. So since he wasn't, he was a bit more vulnerable to retreat. All right, and then this guy's going to do the same. Just roll the old-fashioned way, no good. And then this guy on the elephant, again, 1 die. That's a terrible idea. And a miss also, so that's shit. So these elephants could start to wreck some stuff. Hopefully they don't have the card that they need. Of course, we know that they do, but we wouldn't know that if we were playing face-to-face. All right. So what's next? Well, we could certainly get those elephants in and wrecking things. I find it's better to get... It's tough. Sometimes... Some camps of thought is get them in quick, get them doing as much damage as possible, and you definitely want to get them away from your line because they can damage it. But they only have 2 hits, so they're quite vulnerable and could be a free point to your opponent. There's not much else to do. I am going to play Order Heavy Troops. I do want to get them into the fight as soon as possible. The question is where. So we're activating them, and them. 3 heavy units. The question is, where do they come from? Where do they go? Where do they come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Well, they could attack these Auxilia, or they could attack these. Elephants have several special rules about them. They attack with the same number of dice as the unit that they're attacking. Okay, so they only use 3 dice against warriors. I was checking to see if they rolled 4. Because warriors, when they're at full health, roll 4. I could come over here and attack these guys. Give our archers some protection as well. Yeah, I think we will. So, we're going to move them 2 spaces. 1, 2. And have them attack this. I'm also going to have these mediums... Moving them up behind the elephants is a bit scary. Probably not the best move, because if elephants try to run away, they hit everything around them. That's good and bad. Good and bad guys. So allies and enemies. In fact, because of that fact, I'm not going to put them up. But I am going to move over on this flank this gentleman up. Puts him in a bit of a vulnerable position, but he will get first strike against these guys. And because they have a leader, they're going to be a bit better. But let's have some fun with our elephants first. And let's see what's going to happen there. Okay, so they're going to attack the medium infantry. They get 4 dice. Okay. Ooh, so they got 1 sword, 1 retreat, and 1 triangle, 1 blue triangle, 2 swords, and 1 retreat. So what does that mean? I don't know if I can put them here. Is that kind of ish? Whoop. I don't know. I'll figure it out as time goes on. In any case, so elephants do neat things. All sword hits are rolled again. So I think that those roll before the retreat takes place. So that's going to be 3 hits on these. And we get to roll these 2 again, because they were swords. Let's do it. Gotta be careful. Yep, that's a hit. So that's a hit and a death, which means 1 point to the Carthaginians. 1 of 7. And the elephants are allowed to advance. Most units, when they kill or make another unit retreat, are allowed to advance, and the heavier units, including elephants, are allowed to attack again. So they're going to do that, and they're going to attack some auxilia. Which ones? Let's go with these ones in the middle line here. So 3 dice, because that's what auxilia roll. Okay, that is a leader symbol, a flag, and a sword. We roll the sword again. The leader symbol. So 1 hit and 1 flag. So they must retreat 2 spaces. 1, 2. They're going to come back and sort of regroup with their leader back here. The elephants may advance again, but may not then attack. I'm actually going to leave them here, I think. Yeah, let's leave them there. So that's that. Now let's come over here. These heavy infantry get 5 dice, and because they have a leader, they hit on the leader symbol, basically doubling their chances to hit. Alright, so 5 dice. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3 hits, and a retreat flag. So at this point, they have a choice. Because they have 2 allies next to them, they can ignore the retreat flag, or they could take the retreat flag, move back 1 space. Nope, move back 2 spaces. Yeah, because they're warriors. To sort of get out of harm's way, if you will. But then that allows these guys to move in and attack again. Or they can stay here and fight back. They're only going to get 3 dice. Staying there and attacking. So I am going to take that retreat. These are just slaves after all. Move back 2 spaces. These guys will move forward and will attack again. And they're going to try and hit these... let's try and hit these auxilia. Because I'm a little less afraid of their battle back. And I don't want them to get around behind me. So 5 dice. Alright, so that is... I should have attacked the medium infantry. Rolled a lot of triangles. So, 1 green, which is a hit, and 2 flags. So they're out there on their own. They cannot ignore flags. So they have to move back. So 1, 2, they can't move through their enemies, or through their allies. So that counts as a hit. And then another flag would be 1, 2. They can't do it, so they die. So that's another for the Carthaginians. And again, these will advance, but not attack again. Now that's getting them quite far away from their line, which is probably not a smart move. So they can do line commands and things like that. But it does allow them to chase down this juicy extra point here. Not sure if it's the best choice, but it is a bold choice. Okay, so that was the Carthaginians. Now it's time for the Romans. Well, we could do Dark in the Sky, which allows us to do double ranged attacks. The problem with that is one of our range units is locked down by this elephant here, so we can't do them. Now, something I don't know, and I'm not going to look into the rules right now, I'll look into it later. So they can't do ranged attacks while they're adjacent to an enemy. But could I resolve this first before resolving and declaring this? Would that, if this guy killed or made these retreat, would that then make them eligible? I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. What are my other options? That's not a bad option. I could order 3 on the left and try and surround that leader. In fact, that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, he put himself in risk. We're going to try and make him pay for it. So 3 on the left. These guys are 3 dice hitting him, but they're kind of a free point. But I kind of don't just want to run them away either. But I think I will. So let's move them over 1. So we only have 3. See, I'd like to be able to cut off his retreat for 1, 2, 3. Kind of surround him. It's risky, but that's what we're going to try and do. No, we can't. We don't have enough movement for that. All right, so let's get this guy out of the way. Let's just move him this way over to there. So that's 1 unit. Here is 2 units. And now we want you to come up this way in case he has to retreat, then we still have an option. So 2 and 3. So we broke our line, but if we get a leader out of it, it'll be worth it. Okay, so we're going to do this first. That's 4 dice. See what happens. That is going to be 1 hit and 1 flag. So they could retreat back 1, which they will. Oh, but then I can move into that spot and attack again, couldn't I? So no, they will stay and fight back. So because they did not retreat or die because of that attack, they get to battle back with all of their dice against the one that hit them. First of all, though, since they have a leader and they took a loss, I roll 2 dice, and if 2 leader symbols come up, the leader dies. Very unlikely. Nope, didn't happen. I've only seen it happen once. So they do battle back at full strength. Again, they don't lose. It's the number of blocks is just an indication of hit points, basically. Okay, so that is 3 hits, 2 of them leader hits. So that is a devastating blow. His gamble, it looks like, is paying off. These guys are going to now do their attack. Well, 2 leader dice for them, but they're leaderless. But that is still 1 red symbol, a hit. And again, we check for a leader check. Ooh, 1 leader die, but not 2. Now they battle back again. That is only 1 hit for this unit. So that did not go nearly as well for the Romans as they had hoped. Hopefully they can make it up on the next round. Until then, let's see what we have for the Carthaginians. I think a line command is probably our best option, although those elephants are pretty vulnerable at the moment. And we could really wreck with them as well. We could also get our light cavalry into play. Let's try that. Let's play a 3 order left. We'll activate our elephants and our 2 light cav. Try to bring them in. So the elephants we're going to bring up here to block off a retreat, and also if bad things happen to the elephant, they'll try and hit everyone around them. Let's see. So these guys have a ranged attack. They're not great in combat, they only roll 2, but because they have a leader, they will hit on leader dice. And because they're blocked off. Yeah, I think I am going to bring these guys in to here. Actually, let's do this then. It's risky, but we can always evade if we get attacked. So I'm going to have 3, let's do 2 melee hits here and then 1 here. I'm pretty sure you have to declare them before the die roll. And you can't change your targets if they're deaths. I'm not sure. I need to look that up. I've been reading different rules lately and everything's kind of merging together in my brain. So let's do the elephants first on these warriors. Oh, that battle back is scary though. Let's try it. 3 dice. That's 1 hit. Not very good, because now they get to battle back, although only at 3 dice, because they're no longer at 3 health. So they get 1 hit on the elephants. Could have been worse. Now let's have these have a go at the auxilia. We hit on leaders. We do get 1 hit. And again, you and the auxilia, 1 hit. Not the extraordinary turn they had last time, but nothing to complain about. Well, our line's broken up, so line command is not great. But I think I can put a big dent. I mean, my hand is all special cards. So I have class shields, which lets me activate units that are adjacent to people, which aren't a lot right now. Darken the Sky, which is double range attacks. Line command and double time, which allows them to move 2 hexes and still engage in close combat. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do double time. Order 4 or fewer foot units in a group, units adjacent. Each ordered unit except war machines may move 2 hexes and still engage in close combat. Warriors may move 3 but must charge. Okay, so I'm going to move these. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. The Velite should probably stay back, but I'm going to move them up. They can always evade. Okay, so let's start on the right side. These versus light infantry, 4 dice. That is going to be 3 hits, so that's death. The first point for the Romans. And I am going to have them move forward and continue their assault. Risky. 2 hits, not bad. They battle back. 4 dice. That is only 1 hit, but 2 retreats, which isn't actually that bad. So, move on back. I don't think, since they made them retreat, but they were on the defense, I don't think they can move into the square. I think that's only for the attackers. Okay, so now these guys here, 4 dice. No hits, but 2 retreats. Although, yeah, they would have evaded first. I should have paid attention to that. So when someone evades, they move back 2 spaces, but they ignore any results except a symbol. So they definitely would have done that. And only the lightest of units can evade, or horsemen against slower units than them. So medium cavalry can do it to heavy cavalry. Okay, so let's take this group of heavy versus that group of warriors. 5 dice. 5. Ooh, that's pretty decent. That's 2. They battle back. The warriors do it 3. That is 2 hits. And we check for leader death. Oh, no! Oh! He dies in combat, giving the Carthaginians an extra point. That is going to be a problem. Lastly, these guys. Let's try and... They really made a mistake moving up here. They were counting on having the leader to bolster them. They should have went first before the leader. It doesn't happen often, like I said. Alright, let's have them fight against... Let's try to have them finish off. Poor decision against poor decision, I guess. That's 2 dice. Hoping for a miracle. Not terrible. But they are adjacent to 2, so they can ignore the flag. Do they want to? Question. They're in the lead. They do want to start inflicting some casualties, but no reason to give the Romans a free kill. So they will take the retreat and move back. Alright, the Romans are reeling. They need to get another 2 points before they can get their extra command cards. So let's see. That was the Romans' turn. So now it's time for the Carthaginians. What's going to happen now? A line command seems somewhat prudent. We have a coordinated attack, which allows it to do one in each section. And that would allow me to activate this guy and try to deal the killing blow to him before he can move him out, which is useful. And then we can charge with our warriors to this unit. And then we'll do something on the right, maybe with the elephant. Ooh, we can move the elephant up to here and try to get another leader kill. I mean, it's going to be basically a free one for them, but we could really inflict some heavy casualties here. It's silly, but I think I'm going to do it. So that's our 3. So move the elephant up 1. Activate these guys. I don't think I want to move them. I don't think so. And then who? Oh, these guys come into here. So let's resolve them first, since we're here. 4 dice, because they're at full strength. Hopefully getting a kill. Yep, that's 3 sword hits, which is a kill. So it's another one for the Carthaginians. And I said this was going to be a cakewalk for the Romans. They move forward and are going to attack again. They don't... They're going to try and... No, they'll try and hit these guys. They have a pretty good chance of breaking them. Routing them. So 4 dice, again. Oh, that's 1 too many. Let's roll them again. Alright, 2 leaders, nothing. No hits. So that's unfortunate, because now they're going to battle back with 4 dice. It's going to be 1 hit and 1 retreat, which they must take. And they do so. Again, I don't think those advance, so that's fine. And then, oh yeah, the elephant. Right. Let's try this. So that's going to be 5 dice against heavy infantry. That is 2 hits, and we re-roll the sword. And a retreat, which they can ignore. Well, I think I do the leader death check before. Okay, it doesn't matter. They don't want to retreat. They want to battle back and kill this elephant. Get him out of their hair. Okay, they do so. They rolled this. Now, normally when you make an elephant retreat, that's bad for you. But I believe this takes precedent and kills him, so we don't have to deal with that. So, another point for the Romans. 1 more, and they get 2 more cards. And we were on the defensive, so that doesn't matter. And finally, this battle over here. 5 dice. This one's got very bloody very quickly, as you can see from my pile over here. Alright, let's give it a shot. Ooh, yep, that's death. A lot of death, as a matter of fact. Another one for the Carthaginians. They are 2 away from victory. They will move over and go ahead and attack behind them this time, though. 5 dice. That is 2 leaders and a sword. That's death. They're going to move into that square. And they're 1 point away from victory. So Rome, let's have a look at the battlefield here. Rome is scattered. Rome is hurting. This guy has 1 block. We have 2 and 3 here. Their line is completely broken. Their left leader is dead. All hope is basically lost at this point. So they're going to have to really come up with something special here. Alright, so we have Clash of Shields, which would allow us to do... It's not great, but it's as good as it's going to be, I think. So Clash of Shields allows us to order all units adjacent to the enemy. Units battle with 2 extra dice in close combat. They may not move beforehand, but may momentum advance after. If eligible for bonus combat with battle dice, they roll the normal number. Sorry. May not have range combat. So I'm going to activate them. These and these. It's only 3. But I think it's as good as it's going to get, to be honest. So these guys are going to try and evade. But we get to roll 4 dice. Hopefully score some hits. We do not score a single hit. So they evade. And we don't get to move forward for an evade. I'm not sure we'd want to anyway. Yeah, this is probably terrible decision making on my part, but what can you do? So these guys are going to roll 6 dice against the light cavalry, who are again going to evade. But we only need 3 hits. We're looking for green circles. Only 1. So they evade. And here we get 5 dice. Again, looking for green circles. It's only 1. But we might kill a leader. Nope. Okay. That's it for the Romans. I think I was lost. Let's see if the Carthaginians can finish up here. Would be nice if they had a double time command. They have an I am Spartacus, which allows us to roll some dice, but it's only 4 in this case. I don't think that's particularly useful. Line command for foot units, also not especially useful. I could use those cavalry to... Yeah, I think I'll play this. 3 on the left. I'm going to order these archers to shoot here. I'm going to try and get these heavier guys into the fight to finish things off. So just 1 and 1. Not a very exciting turn. Things look kind of inevitable at this point, but we might as well play it out. We do get 2 dice here. This could be the killing blow. 2 misses. So not this turn. Back to the Romans. See if they can at least get 1 more on the books. This line command is terrible. We could do a dark in the sky. Only 2 units. Might be the best we can do, though. We could roll 4 dice against this guy, but we're only going to hit on 1 in 6 chance on each, which is not great. We have 3 units adjacent that we can move forward, which isn't terrible. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll order a line command for 3 whole units. We will move these guys up to here. We will move these up to here. And we'll move those up to here. These will fire here. 1 dice. A miss. These will attack here. For 4 dice. That is 1 hit. And they ignore the flag and battle back with 4 dice. No hits. Lucky for the Romans. Here, 4 dice. 1 hit. They ignore the flag. Battle back with 3. No hits. All right. Could have went better for the Romans, but could have went worse. Let's see if the Carthaginians can finish it, though. I think they will with a line command. So it would be nice if they could move their leader as well, but they can't. So let's move them here. So 1, 2. They choose not to move. I don't think they have to move. Yeah, I don't think they have to move. So them, and them. Okay, let's go here to here and finish the game. I have a feeling. 5 dice. Here we go. Yep, that's it. That's all she wrote. So 2 And the final Carthaginian. And look at the massacre. Just look at it. Oh, so much death. So much needless death. The Romans did not even get their third, so they could get 2 extra command cards. Let's try and analyze what happened. The elephants did more than usual, I think. They wreaked quite a bit of havoc in the Roman lines. That lucky leader check roll for the Carthaginians to kill one of the Roman leaders just took away, I think, any hope that Rome had. I think the Carthaginians just played better as well. The thing that really paid off, I think, was this guy here. He made a very bold move, and it really paid off for him. He got himself into danger, but was able to just completely wreck the left flank, basically by himself. So I think that was really the decision of the battle, that move and his subsequent rolls that really decided things. So yeah, that's the second battle of BENEVENTUM. Historically, the Carthaginians, led by Mago, beat the slave army of Gracchus, which is a great name, by the way. I need to remember that for role-playing. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to try and do a few more of these. I have some other games as well. Might be a different video to go with, but to go through, I've got a few other expansions for Commands and Colors. I'd like to get a Warriors of God game going. The block games are harder, but not impossible to do, so we'll see. Also, Blood and Roses over there on the right, Men of Iron game. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys next time.